On Monday Night Prime Time.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full vapor as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with their opponents. Granted, going alongside my good friend Charles Davis, and CD, for as much as the defender in you probably hates to hear it, the NFL is a league ruled by offenses, and we've got a couple of good ones about ready to do battle here.
You know me quite well. Maybe one day I can get to be commissioner. I can flip that around a little bit. We can just talk about defense, but let's face it, we're talking about two units. They're ranking the top 5 in the league. So I think this might be a game where you forget about the field goal. You better finish your drives with touchdown if you want to keep up with the Joneses on the other sideline.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. So here come the Vikings with a long field ahead of them. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Second and 2. Can't get away, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So how's that for an interesting way to start this ball game?
First drive of the game and you go backwards all the way into your own end zone?
Guess it kind of makes you wonder what else we might have in store here in this one. And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Fielded just inside the 30.
Come on now, let's go.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
Partner, do we still count this as the holiday season?
A little bit of a gray area, but I think you can.
Okay, well, we just passed it, right? Well, the gifts keep coming to our guy, don't they?
They do.
I mean, think about this now. Clinch the playoff spot. Offensive player of the week in Week 16. I think he's going to keep going. I think he's going to keep firing away. I don't think they pull back at all.
Yeah, and everybody for them rounding into form right now. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 25 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
One thing I do know, teams in the NFL don't treat this like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. It's been mentioned all week long about going out and getting him the rushing title. He'll see the ball, and he'll see it often.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. They'll look to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
So many times in my career, coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On first down, Burks. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. On second down now, Burks. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 32. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And the final number here in terms of the top speed that he hit, absolutely absurd. Next Gen Stats has him at better than 23 miles an hour on that one.
On third down, Burks. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got the hook up to Landry. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On 4th down, Sean McDermott trots the field goal unit out there. This will be from 49 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0.
So when you factor in the safety, this now a 5-point swing.
And look, I'm not going to turn away a 5-point swing, because 5 points, that's valuable. Don't get me wrong on this. But if they could have taken that safety and added 7 to it, now you're talking about a really big swing.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That
Thank
means
you.
2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. The Vikings send out their punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it? Touchdowns. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw here. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this one is right down Broadway. And thanks to his safety and 2 field goals, this is now an 8-0 game. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully they'll be kicking extra points instead.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He finds his man, complete. That's Peterson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. He'll look to throw. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Hey, baby. Don't throw this way.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
So here are our visitors to take over on offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Back to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So they bring out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Here's 2nd and 8. He finds his man, complete. That's Moody. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the defense. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Now a handoff here to his running back. He will push his way down to about the 14. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Tackle made at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
One quarter down, 8-0 the score.
Vikings nothing.
Set for the second quarter, San Diego in possession of the football. A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. From the gun, he'll hand this off. At a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Here we go on 4th down. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Red Dragons are able to stretch out their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now.
Vikings, nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Our visitors getting set to take over on offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A big play there. With touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Red Dragons are able to add on to their first half lead. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead opens up now to 22 points.
22. Vikings, nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
What we got?
He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
But Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll set up to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. This one caught by Ridley. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. On 3rd down, Burks. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
He was brought down at the 20.
Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a handoff here to his running back. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now back to throw. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
2nd and 4 at the 31.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, are usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit. So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Oh, look at the juke. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Here we go. Yeah.
Now, after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
The 1st down pass. Complete to number 4. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd.
On 2nd down, Burks. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
He was taken down at the 22-yard line. A gain of 7. 1st down.
Right back to him on 1st down.
61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right, tight on the right.
2nd and 3. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season.
And the Red Dragons extend their lead yet again.
And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drives 7 plays in length. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 20.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Over the middle, hauled in by Campbell. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making...
That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there just before halftime.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Red Dragons would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was the Eagles who were able to swoop in and get the road victory. Devontae Smith, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. The Raiders knew a victory was necessary to have any shot, and they got it as they get it to 9-7 with 1 week to go. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. Trevor Lawrence, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. We'll continue on and take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
2nd and 4. And he's got his man in stride, complete. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10, and a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. It fights him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Stop your whining.
Now a throw here, hauled in. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw here. And it's caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Red Dragons take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
We'll see if they can do it here.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll find some space up to about the 25.
Tackle at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 7. makes it 3rd and 4.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Touchdown, baby, yeah.
Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Point after here coming up. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
3 down. Mike 27, Mike 27.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
3rd and 10.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. That is incomplete. And the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to...
Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. A big play there for Minnesota.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Still in search of their 1st touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up Sackett. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd and 14.
31.
Back to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here are visitors to take over on offense. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
by the time
we have to leave the booth.
They'll run on 1st down. Burks takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
On 2nd down now, Burks, 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 4. And it's 3rd.
They'll keep it on the ground. Burks, and a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the 1st, right around the 42. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the 1st half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it. Go the other way. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So the big fella Well, that gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Time for this defense now to get back on the field. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? And they'll get him down here at the 23.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 23-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll make it 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw again. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. This will be fielded at the 17.
They'll take over 1st down and 10 at their own 20.
Our visitors getting set to take over on offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 2 yards.
On 3rd down, Burks. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On first down, Burks. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Hands it off out of the gun. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Now it's Peterson. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Vikings head out to take over once again. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, a strip. The ball comes out. It's going the other way. And it won't be a pick 6, but he will have his guys set up at the 2-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Red Dragons are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Out comes the defense now here back onto the field. Recovered the fumble, up on the scoreboard. They've got the momentum.
And that's a confident group that we see hitting the field again. Just what you talked about. Took away the ball the last possession. They feel like they can go ahead and do it again. They are locked in and feeling good about how this game is going.
And they're playing free. They're playing loose.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. Sometimes it can be a bad thing if you're too free, too loose, and you give up your responsibilities. But not this unit. They are ready to go.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5. At the 20.
2nd and 5. That escapes the sack. Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Back to throw. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Vikings send out their punter, standing just about on his own goal line. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return.
So here are visitors to take over on offense. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
On third down, Burks. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They bring their punter out there now as he's on here to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
It's now 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. Open man, he completes it to Judy. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
4 yards on the pickup.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there.
That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and...
They'll look to throw again. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
They'll run on 1st down. Burks. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Burks. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he's going to have a first down on a gain of about 10, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 123 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
On 1st down, Burks. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Yeah.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
29 is Mike. Mike 29. Here we go, 99. Ready.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 3rd down.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs him up 5 yards. So now they need 7 yards on 3rd down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our visitors,
they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They moved to 16-0 on the year.